there will be more fires until we include in any disaster relief items which will prevent it or at least mitigate it from happening again. So you're going to see us proposing both of those.
Like water. Little things like water. You know, the party of common sense. See, we're the party of common sense. You're not, in all fairness.
Damn.
We like water to put out fires. It's really quite efficient. All right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I just want to thank you for your focus on bringing sanity to California, water and fire policy. There's no place that needs a revolution in common sense quite like California.
He doesn't want to wait around for 7 months till the city hires some demolition contract that's going to charge him $25,000 to do his lot. Yeah. I think you have emergency powers just like I do, and I'm exercising my emergency powers. You have to exercise them also.
I did exercise them.
Because I looked, I mean, you have a very powerful emergency power, and you can do everything within 24 hours.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. This is an honor to be with you. Unfortunately, it's a very sad period, but what makes you feel good is I met so many of the homeowners, and every one of them, a lot of them, and every one of them said to me they want to rebuild. I said, will you go elsewhere? No, 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 no. It wasn't even like a question. They love the area, they love the people. It's like a family. If you have any questions, please let me know, and if you have a statement to make, I'd love to have politically, if you'd like to make a statement. Brad, go ahead.
Mr. President?
Okay, I'll do it.
Mr. President, thank you for coming
Thank you, Brett.
to the 32nd Congressional District and
Thank you.
making feel. Most people don't have adequate insurance because they couldn't get it. So one company dropped 1,600 policies just in the last 6 months. We've got 16 times as much property damage here as from Hawaii. And I'm hoping that we get at least 16 times the federal appropriation for the CDBG program that helps people rebuild. And I know you've talked about policies of California that you're not a fan of, but I've been in Congress for 28 years. I really disagree with Louisiana on their abortion policy. I disagree with them on their campaign finance policy. I disagree with North Dakota on their gun policy. And I would never turn to somebody from Louisiana and say, you keep living on your cousin's couch, because we're not going to help you rebuild until Louisiana agrees with me on a woman's right to choose. So I'm hoping that we can get these funds and that we don't punish individuals for the policies of their state. You can.
Okay, so this guy is trying to make it so Trump sees the picture of, you know, just because you don't agree with California's policies doesn't mean you should, as a president of the United States, say, hey, I'm not giving you guys any more money. I'm not going to help the Californians. This guy is gearing it towards Californians. He's saying, why are you doing that to the people? First off, Trump didn't do this to the people. The leaders of California, Gavin Newsom, Karen Bass, they did this to Californians. They were not prepared and did preventative measures for forest fires, any type of fires. They weren't prepared for these fires. And this falls on their leadership. This guy is trying so hard to paint the picture that Trump, it's Trump's responsibility. He wasn't even president when this happened, so no. Why didn't this gentleman speak directly to Joseph Biden about that?
You can disagree with them, and I think you've got some ideas. I look forward to us listening. Also on tariffs, I often agree with you on tariffs, but how about no tariffs on building materials for the next 3 years?
Well, we'll take a look at that, actually.
Mr. President, let me also say that I know you had an opportunity to see the devastation. You've seen the extreme loss, the grief that people are going through here. And we are 100% committed to getting this neighborhood rebuilt again You mentioned a couple of things in terms of us expediting. So I signed executive directives right away so that we could cut the red tape, we could get people back building as fast as possible, and we're going to continue doing that. We
Mayor, the one thing is they
Yes.
are saying they will not be allowed to start for 18 months.
No, that will not be the case.
Okay, I just hope you...
We need to hear, the American people, Californians need to hear an exact time frame. She keeps emphasizing as soon as possible, ASAP. We're gonna do this right away. They need a time frame. These people are looking at hotels, Airbnbs, family members flying out of state. A lot of them, I don't even know where they're at. A lot of these people that lost their homes, that can't afford these things, are stuck on the street, shelters. I don't know. She needs a better time frame. This is why Trump's gonna push back right now.
We're not-
right.
You can hold me to it.
There's 4 groups said that. and
No.
That would be, they should
No,
be able to
that-
do it. They should be able to start tonight.
That will not be the case. You know, first we have to take care to make sure that there's not getting rid of the hazardous waste, cleaning things up so that people can start right away. We absolutely need your help. We need the federal help. You're a
You've got it,
builder.
I told you. You will have no permit problem. There will be 0 delay. And as far as I'm concerned, you already have the permits.
And
You mentioned hazardous waste. Well, the hazardous waste, what's hazardous waste? I mean, you're going to have to define that. We're going to go through a whole series of questions on determining what's hazardous.
nope, nope,
I
nope,
just
nope.
think you have to allow the people to go on their site and start the process tonight.
And we will.
So, from what was basically said, either earlier in the conversation or basically a lot of these people that lost their homes, they're not even able to go to their home site to start cleaning up. The mayor has said to stop everybody from entering these areas because it's a safety hazard, but these people don't care. They're trying to hurry up and cleaning up so they can rebuild. Not wait months like Trump's saying. We're not going to wait for you guys to get a bunch of contractors to come take out all this debris. Like, if people want to go in, let them go into their homes and take care of it themselves and start loading it into trucks and to clean everything up so they can rebuild.
Mr. President, could I just speak for a moment?
Kevin Kiley, California.
Yes.
First of all, you're absolutely right about the Coastal Commission. I've introduced legislation to rein them in. We've been talking with Rick about this.
They're out of control.
Absolutely out of control. It's insane the things they've been getting away
I
with.
think they thrive on it, actually, if you want to know the truth. It's so ridiculous.
That's right. They even tried to stop SpaceX from launching rockets. It's just
It's true.
But you mentioned your predecessor and how he didn't fix the situation, which is absolutely right. Not only that, during the Calder fire, which was a few years ago, which was in my district, 600 people lost their homes in a town called Grizzly Flat. He came and he promised that he would help them out, but he broke that promise many times. He never delivered them the individual assistance they were asking for.
No surprise.
So, this has underscored for me the importance of helping the victims, making sure in this situation, in every fire, we get money to the victims, and we make sure that nothing stands in the way of that. But I just want to thank you for your focus on bringing sanity to California, water and fire policy. There's no place that needs a revolution in common sense quite like California.
You have
There we go.
so much
Hell yeah.
water. Use it and be happy about it.
Mr.
Be
President.
happy.
Well, and let me just tell you that we are going to do everything we can, slashing regulations, expediting everything so that people can begin the process right away. You know,
So she wants to slash regulations in the moment where there's already been tragedy, people's lives have been taken, and now to bring everything back and build and do something good for the Californians. Now you want to slash regulations when you could have done that months and years ago. I don't even know exactly when she came into office as the mayor, but they had many opportunities. These leaderships in California had many opportunities to make the state of California better than what it can be. And instead, they decide to get a shovel and dig themselves in a hole as deep as they can, to the point where this man over here has to come in and save the day. It's horrible.
6 months
Exactly.
is no good.
and the number one thing that we are going to do immediately, and you will see this happen, is to clear out the debris. And you know, we're concerned right now over the weekend because of the potential rain, but we are going to move as fast as we can, but we want you to be safe, and we want you to be back in your homes immediately.
But the people are willing to clean out their own debris. It doesn't
Yes,
cost
and
a
they
lot.
can,
You
and
should
they are
let them
able
do
to-
it, because
No, no,
by
no,
the
they
time you
can do
hire
that.
contractors, it's
Right.
going to be 2 years.
If a family...
People are willing to get a dumpster and do it themselves and clean it out.
And they can
There's
do
not that much left. It's all incinerated.
That's right.
And, you know, it's just going to take a long time if you do. You can do some of it, but he doesn't want to wait around for 7 months till the city hires some demolition contract
If
that's going to
individuals
charge him
want to build-
$25,000 to do his lot.
Yeah.
I think you have emergency powers just like I do, and I'm exercising my emergency powers. You have to exercise them also.
I did exercise them.
Because I looked,
signed
I
an
mean, you have a
emergency
very powerful
declaration.
emergency power, and you
Yes.
can do everything within 24 hours.
Yes. And if individuals want to clear out their property, they can.
Damn. He was telling her, you got to start doing your job. I mean, I'm doing my job now that I'm back in office. You got to do your job. You have the power to speed things up. And, I mean, he's putting her in her place. I like that.
Well, yes, but you know that you will be able to go back soon.
Mr. President.
We think within a week.
That's a long time, a week. I'll be honest. To me, everyone's standing in front of their house. They want to go to work, and they're not allowed to do it.
And the most
a
important
week
thing
is
is
a
for
long
people to
time.
be safe.
They're safe.
So she's saying, okay, she's using safety as the reason why these people can't go back to their homes to clear everything out so they can start planning to rebuild. She's saying, and I don't like the way she said that too, because she wasn't even sure. That look.
Yes, but you know that you will be able to go back soon.
How long?
President.
When?
We think within a week.
See, that's not
That's a
certainty
long
right there.
time, a week. I'll be honest.
Within
to me,
week?
everyone's standing in front of their house. They want to go to work, and they're not allowed to do it.
And the most
a
important
week
thing
is
is
a
for
long
people to
time.
be safe.
She had to throw
They're
something
safe.
out there because
They're
she was
safe.
put
You know
on
what?
the
They're not
spot.
safe. They're not safe now. They're going to be much
And
safer.
look at this. This guy took the mic away from her. He's like, okay, you're done speaking because you're not even sure what you're saying. I look at body language on everybody that speaks and facial expressions. It's really important because it really decides if it matches exactly what they're saying. Because that's how you can tell when people are lying or if they're trying to be a snake or crooked with you. No.
President, we're going to be together next week, and during the interim, many of us are involved in, and Tom McClintock, who you know has been an expert on this for years.
That's right.
We are going to be putting conditions on the money that do two things. Require that it be done timely and affordable, and then secondly, that we protect those who will come afterwards. As we speak, there are 6,000 acres burning in my district on the Mexican border. There will be more fires until we include in any disaster relief items which will prevent it or at least mitigate it from happening again. So you're going to see us proposing both of those.
Like water. Little
we're
things
gonna
like
do
water.
that for
You
them.
know, the party of common sense. See, we're the party of common sense. You're not, in all fairness.
Damn.
We like water to put out fires. It's really quite efficient. All right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr.
You're
President.
not.
I'm Jay Obernolte. My district is just a bit east of here. And you were talking about the
We're not going to talk about that? What the hell? He just put them on blast. You're not the party of common sense. Oh my gosh.
need to better manage our forests and our wildlands to prevent this from happening again.
Here
And
we
they were
go.
so right about that. Just last year, a couple months ago in October, they put out a fire. The line fire in my district was over twice as big as the Palisades fire. And they put it out less than a mile from my house in an area where we had done thinning, and they stopped the fire, Mr. President, on a fire break that we had built a couple of years ago.
Right.
We have an area just on the other side of my community that hasn't been thinned in decades because it's being held up by a lawsuit from an environmental group that says we're going to reduce habitat.
Wow,
Mr. President, we
see?
need to, in addition to getting resources and boots on the ground to do this treatment,
We need to reform our legal system to prevent these lawsuits from tying up these projects for years and years and years. And not to say that the merit shouldn't be heard, but we need to hear them and we need to move on, resolve them.
Is this a state group? State or federal group?
This is a local group, actually, Mr. President, but they have help from the state.
They use the
federal.
environment to make themselves feel good, and they're destroying our country.
So these environmentalists are for the nature in California, trying to preserve it for animals and whatever reasons they believe is important. But in reality, it's actually costing, at this point, California citizens' lives and property. That should supersede nature and animals. We need to preserve American life. If Democrats were smart enough, they would understand to tackle both issues at the same time to make it where they can still preserve wildlife and everything in nature, as well as being able to prevent forest fires or any type of fires that would basically ignite pretty damn quick.
And I would do one other thing. I'd give them a 10%, 15% bonus on their house because they went through hell, and they should be allowed to build a little bit, give them a little bit lot line bonus, give them a bonus on size, maybe a little bonus on height. They went through hell. You know, some of them had...
I don't agree with that. Reason being is because there's been fires in the past and destroyed many homes. And even if it's not just this, I understand he's saying it in a way because this could have been prevented, but there's still other situations in the country where have been affected by natural disasters, and they're not getting these perks of being able to build a little bit more, a little bit bigger. So I don't really agree with that. If they have the original plans of these houses, build to the original plan, and these people should be not voting for Democrats anymore after this. That should be the outcome. And if they still want to, you get what you vote for.
Mr. President, if I can just defend FEMA a little bit.
Yeah.
They brought
Defend
thousands of
FEMA.
people in. I don't know how they're doing in other states. They're doing a good job for us here. They've got a huge center that's open from 9 in the morning till 8 at night. But also, when you have a disaster this size, you need to be able to deploy thousands of people, which they've been able to do. Now, California, if we did it on our own, maybe we'd have thousands of people.
You do.
But if Rhode Island has
You
a
do.
Palisades disaster, are they then supposed to keep
How many
thousands?
people do you have in California? 36? How many million?
close to
How many
40.
million people do you have?
But
You have 40 million people. You're not going to get a few thousand people? The problem with FEMA is they come from all over the country. They end up in arguments with your people from California because they want to do it a totally different way. And
They're getting
I can
more
live
fun.
either way, but you haven't gotten very much done with FEMA and all you have to do is look at North Carolina. It's one of the great disasters of all time. You know who came in and fixed North Carolina or the process? Other states, people from all over the country came. And you have the same thing. You have a lot of people from all over the country. Getting the people is not a problem. Getting the organization's a big problem. FEMA.
So I know a few months ago when they got affected in the East Coast with the hurricane that ripped through a bunch of states, I remember seeing Kamala Harris on TV saying that these people affected are going to get $700. $700. Their houses got destroyed. And she's thinking, I don't even know if they actually got the money, actually. But $700 is basically nothing. That's going to have them survive for like 2 weeks, probably. That's why FEMA didn't respond. FEMA didn't respond to the Carolinas and all the states that got affected from the hurricane. And now, when it's getting to this point of the fires going on, there's definitely no money to send any type of resource from FEMA because there is none. That's why Trump's getting rid of it now, because it's mismanagement.
is incompetently run, and it costs about 3 times more than it should cost.
I'm hoping
we
that
can
you can
spend
get a
money
better
on
run.
schools instead of giving money to bureaucracy. It takes you so much longer.
There we go.
Mr. President,
It takes you so much longer.
FEMA for helping our people.
FEMA has a standard, Ray,
Our people,
and I'm a
see.
builder. I was a very good builder. FEMA has a standard that's so slow They want permit on permit on permit, and then they want permits on top of that. If you use FEMA, you'll be here for a long time. What I'm saying is get the city, get the state to give you immediate 24-hour permits. These people are going to build their own homes. They're going to get them built fast.
Mr. President, without your help, they're only going to get $43,000 from the federal government, even if they have a half
Well, you know,
million dollar
you did
uninsured
something,
loss.
Brad, where every insurance company in the country left California. That's why you have no insurance, because you made it so impossible. People that think like you made it so impossible. And you know,
Brad,
Me?
every
Mr.
insurance
President,
company.
I don't know what
I'll
you
tell you
know
this.
about my thinking.
I've never seen a state where almost nobody has insurance. And I said, what happened? And they said like 6 months ago they all left, and 2 years ago they had different, quadrants, but they left. And you have very little insurance here. I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
We had a lot of insurance companies.
The same situation is happening in Florida, actually. So California is not the only state that's dealing with insurance leaving the state.
Companies pull out, but I have
And
no
the
idea.
insurance companies actually have been warning you. Now, I'm not a big fan of insurance companies, okay? They have their big drawbacks too, but the insurance company I've been reading, I read the papers very well, and they've been warning California for a long time.
Well, guys, hope you guys liked this video. I mean, Trump was laying it down. He went to California. I mean, it took him a few days, but I mean, he had to sign a bunch of executive orders to get the ball rolling in the country. So luckily, I mean, he finally made it there, and he's putting his foot down and telling these guys, "Hey, you guys need to start listening. I'm here to help you. I'm telling you, I'm giving you the answers to these problems to help prevent these type of things, these fires from happening ever again. I already told you 6-7 years ago, and you guys didn't do anything. Instead, you guys made this state worse. Like, get your act together. The world is watching. Everybody's watching this. Alright, guys, if you'd like to subscribe, press the subscribe button. If you have any questions or like me to react to anything, leave it in the comments below. Alright, guys, peace out.